So Jorge Masvidal has just put out on his Twitter, uh, almost an hour ago now, but he put out unretired. So I tried to decipher what could this mean? Could he be coming back to UFC for UFC 300? Is this a boxing opportunity? Is he boxing Jake Paul? So I'm going to just break down what I think this could be based on the evidence so far. Now, I have no sources towards this situation or anything, so this could be, uh, this could be absolutely anything at all. So this is just guessing. But looking at it, there is a few options where this could be. First, I'm going to start off with the option which has a bit of fire to it, but I truly don't believe this is what it's going to be, but I could be wrong. Jorge Masvidal obviously said that if he was to fight again, it would be in boxing. And Jake Paul has said recently, as of today, that he's put out two offers for opponents to fight. I think he's fighting sometime in March for his fight. So that there is an option right there. I don't think it will be Jorge Masvidal though. I feel like there would be more hype to it. I don't think he'd be sending it to Jorge and then some other guy. Like, especially if you're gonna barely have any build to it. It's like less than 2 months away. Jorge would probably want a bit more time to prepare, especially for boxing, but maybe he thinks Jake Paul's a bit of an easy fight for him or something like that. I don't think it will be Jake Paul, but there is a bit of flair to the fire there, but I don't think that's what it's going to be. Then, obviously, he's got his own promotion, Gamebred's promotion, where he does bare knuckle MMA, so maybe this means he's going to be fighting on his own promotion. I don't know how that works with the UFC. I don't know if his contract's been frozen. I know he's allowed to box, but with his contract being frozen, I don't think he'd be allowed to go and fight bare knuckle MMA because technically it's still MMA, even though he runs the promotion and everything. But that would be a cool option to see him in bare knuckle MMA. I don't know who the fuck he would fight. Maybe we get Jorge Masvidal versus Francisco Trinaldo in bare knuckle MMA. That'd be cool, but it's not really a big fight, especially with someone of Jorge Masvidal's name value. You would think he'd be going in there against some real well-known fighter. I know Trinaldo's a fucking goat, Gonaldo, for a reason. The things he does at his older age is pretty incredible. But I don't know if that's gonna be the fight that it is. I don't know. I don't think Trinaldo is a fight that gets Jorge Masvidal out of the bed in the morning. Then we obviously have some options, like maybe it's BKFC, maybe he's fighting Mike Perry. That'd be a cool option. BKFC, Mike Perry versus Jorge Masvidal. Who would not want to see that? That'd be just an awesome fight. Obviously, they were under the same management, but I think Jorge left the Cowell brothers, so, they're not under the same management or anything like that anymore. So that could be an option. There's just plenty of options out there. There's also, obviously, the UFC. This could be a UFC comeback, especially because, he never retired from boxing, because, he wasn't a boxer. He said unretired. That would imply that he's unretiring from mixed martial arts, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into the logistics here too much. Maybe when he retired, he said, I'm retired from fighting in general. But I don't know. Logistically, if you're unretired, you would have had to have done it before. Obviously, he had boxed in the past. I think he had one fight. He had a fight in kickboxing. But in 5 years there, it'd be a bit of a silly statement to say unretired and then Jorge Masvidal making his fucking combat jiu-jitsu debut. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just looking into this a bit too much, but this could be an option. This could generally be a real option. I'm thinking, could you imagine they just fucking completely put Bilal Muhammad out? They're just fuck Bilal. Let's do Jorge versus Leon Edwards for the title, UFC 300. That would be so fucking funny. That's not going to happen. Maybe it does. Maybe I've jinxed it. Maybe Bilal Muhammad doesn't get a UFC title shot at UFC 300. To be fair, the guy deserves it, but still, it would be so fucking funny. Outside of that, I really can't think of, who would he even fight? Maybe him versus Nate Diaz 2? Maybe him versus Nick Diaz? What even is there for Jorge Masvidal at this point in his career? If he's coming out of retirement, he's going to be coming out of retirement for someone big. They're going to be like, okay, UFC 300, I've got a banger fight for you guys. We got the number 7 ranked welterweight, Sean Brady versus Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. It's a badass fight. It's on UFC 300, and it's in April. Like, I don't know, he'd just do something like that. Like, I can't see Dana hyping it up. Maybe Jorge Masvidal versus Shavkat. I mean, that'd be cool, but it's not like a big fight or anything like that. Like, I don't know, there's just no real big fights. Maybe they do Jorge Masvidal versus Vicente Luque. That'd be a cool fight. It's not a big fight, but it's got name value there. It's a fight people would want to see. I just don't understand. Like, Kevin Holland's fighting MVP, so it won't be Kevin Holland. Like, that fight had some beef to it. That fight would have been cool to see, but I don't know. It's just there are so many weird options where like that none really makes sense. Obviously, McGregor just announced he's fighting Chandler, so that's not going to be his fight. You know, there's a lot at play here. Like, what even could this be? Oh my god, I have something in the back of my throat right now. I want to cough, but I don't want to deafen the people listening to this video on headphones. But yeah, I don't know. There is just so many options where what this could be. But if I'm going to be honest, the most realistic option, I think, even knowing, yeah, maybe it could be UFC 300, maybe it could be UFC 299 in Miami. You know, Jorge is a big Miami draw. You could just put him on there against anyone and people are going to tune in. They're going to watch it. But that card's already really stacked. I can't see them doing that. So I'm thinking most likely option, if we're going to be honest, is probably just Jorge just taking an absolutely random boxing match. Like that is the that is the best case I can think of. Honestly, that is what I can think of. Like, maybe he just boxes some random guy or someone with like a decent level name, but not like a Jake Paul, maybe somebody else. I can see that really being what this is going to be, because he always said that he would take a boxing match after retirement, after MMA retirement. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be some boxing related thing. If it's MMA, fucking awesome. That's cool to see. Don't give him a grappler, because I don't want to see him get wrestle fucked again. You know, put him in there with a striker, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. You know, to quote Dana White, we gotta see how this thing plays out. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool to see Jorge back. At the end of the day, is he going to be champion? No, but he's good to have him there. He's a big draw. He's a big name. His fights always feel big. Hopefully, we can see like a vintage game bred performance if he's fighting someone like a striker. Maybe we can just get a pure striking match for Jorge. That'd be perfect. But, you know, it'd be cool to see him back. Maybe it is Nate Diaz, though. But Nate Diaz is... If it's going to be anyone in the UFC, I feel like Nate Diaz is probably the best option. Well, not the best option, but the most likely option. Nick Diaz would probably be better at this point because they haven't fought. You know, if we're going to bring him back from retirement, let's have him fight somebody he hasn't fought, but... I don't know. I'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because obviously Nick Diaz versus GSP was meant to happen for UFC 300, so maybe they're still going to get Nick Diaz a fight for the card, so Jorge would probably make the most sense. They were meant to fight at one point. They were meant to do Nick Diaz versus Jorge, yeah, but instead it turned into Jorge versus Darren Till. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, honestly, but it's good to see the guy back if he does come back. But maybe I'm just completely wrong and we get like fucking Jorge Masvidal versus Craig Jones in a grappling match like that. It'll probably turn out to be something random like that. Or another option, he's just fucking trolling us right now and we're all talking about him and nothing fucking happens. Like, honestly, that is just a real big fucking option. Like, this could be a fucking elaborate fucking troll from Jorge. You know, get everyone talking about him and he brings out a fucking new drink or something, you know. I'm unretired, you know. Here's my new fucking drink. Haha, got you, motherfuckers. Like, I could just see that as an option. So, let's put this under the Jorge Masvidal is just fucking with us option. Which is a very, very high likelihood this is the chance. But I do think he is probably coming back in some capacity for a fight. If he isn't, then fuck you for making me make a whole video on this subject just to promote some drink or something like that. But also, thank you, Jorge, for giving me some content to make. So anyway, regardless, we'll see what happens. We'll see what this ends up being. I feel like it probably will have to be some boxing related endeavor if I had to guess though. But anyway, that's all I've got to say on this situation. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm dead on, maybe I'm dead off. We'll have to see what happens if, you know, something even comes out. Maybe we just never hear about this again. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a like. If you're not already, subscribe, put on notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Cheers.